I knew early on what it was I let loose on Stillwater. The Playa was reckless and uncaring. Left a wake of bodies pointing right back at us. Think more of the city was destroyed than saved in the end. Sure, the Saints were taken over, but at what cost? I couldn't risk letting a sociopath run things, so I did what I had to do. Never thought the bastard would survive the explosion.
2006 in Stillwater, to say the least, a lot went on, whether if it was the suits or the flags. The suits wanted the gangs out for a bigger plan to refurbish the city, putting criminals all in one place while of course playing dirty. The same for the Saints. Back to the flag side of things. They pushed the same ideology, taking over the streets, but was too blind to even see the suits angle. We saw the player go from a bystander to a full gangbanger after being one. During him being naive to this life, he got all the spoils, the reputation, the money, the cars, and he became addicted to it all. But his run was cut short before it really started.
Hey yo, can you speed this shit up? I wanna go to Freckle Bitches.
You're going to die here, son. Make no mistake about that. But if it makes it any easier on you, I'll be sure to thank you in my acceptance speech. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a party to...
But surviving this explosion, then being in a coma after this was done by Julius, the Saints became inactive. But this alone showed its biggest weakness 2 years and 31 days later, which was something that started to develop before this took place, which was being power drunk.
You'll never guess who's awake.
You're shitting me.
Come see for yourself.
The fact alone this prison guard reacted this way shows the name and rep the player built from this time he got things started to this point. During their trip to the infirmary, they do a recap on 06 in Stillwater, showing everything he did, even pinning the things on him he didn't do, up until they actually confront him.
How long has it been?
Years. I stopped keeping track a while ago.
Can't believe it's been that long.
Time flies when you're watching someone breathe through a tube.
How's the family?
My wife's cheating on me with an Altor exec, and my daughter sits in her room listening to Aisha albums all day.
Oh, for a dead woman, she sure releases a lot of records.
No shit.
God, that was a hell of a year. Alderman Hughes, Mayor Winslow, Aisha, Chief Monroe.
All murdered by that asshole who's been sitting in intensive care on taxpayers' money.
He said he wouldn't pull the plug.
Lord knows why.
Anyone call the chief?
Couldn't get through. The press has been mobbing him with phone calls.
Oh, about the...
Yep.
I forgot that was today.
Keep in mind here the player isn't aware that Troy was a cop, let alone now being the chief of police. Ironically, Troy knew what Lynn had to go through, being that he became entrenched being a Saint. Also keep in mind the player still thinks it's 06, a time the Saints became a thing.
You should pay more attention.
Fuck off. How's the patient?
Seeing as they're still breathing after being caught in a massive explosion, I'd say pretty good.
But now with the whole prison learning the player's now awake, someone who looked up to him will show his weakness now that he's more vocal after what he done to be so.
Coming through! What happened?
Shanking.
Put him over there. Sorry about that.
Have they said anything yet?
Not yet, but I'm about to take the bandages off. Yes, that looks like it healed nicely.
Be careful, Doctor. Your patient's dangerous.
You got anything you want to say to the judge, you better start thinking of it now.
You're wasting your time. Let's get a hold of Troy.
Hey.
And here's when his weakness first started to show before it's fully clear. The player at this point was aware how he was treated once being in the Saints, even from the people that wasn't criminals. So this stranger talking to him, fan-like, he scolds him, giving him a cocky-like response.
Is it really you? Do I know you?
Again, this guy became someone who ended up looking up to the player at some point, being naive like he was, but now for different things. He even tries to explain how his brother was in the Saints to let his guard down, but he still wasn't fazed for the fact alone no Saint ever was in his level, not even Julius, which is why this guy's been planning to break him out of prison as soon as he's awake.
My brother was in the Saints and he told me all about you. Listen, we gotta get you out of here.
Well, I'm sure if we ask nicely.
I know a way out.
Yeah? Then why are you still here?
I heard you were in here and I wanted to bust you out. Getting out of here is a two-man job and no one else will give it a try.
You really expect me to trust some guy I don't even know?
Come on, I just got myself shanked so I could get a chance to talk to you. Doesn't that show I'm loyal?
It shows that you're dumb enough to let yourself get stabbed.
I'm trying to help you.
You know what I got the last time I trusted someone? Blown the fuck up.
Keep in mind the player doesn't know Julius betrayed him yet, but even with his power, then letting his guard down is something that he learned to never do. Getting on that boat, leading to his weakness at this point to show once he is told something that appalled him.
You need me.
The hell I do? I got the Saints.
Brings the Saints up as back and showing his weakness. In Player's mind at this point, everything he worked toward a couple years ago, things were still the case, but he had a rude awakening before escaping. He swallows his pride for a quick second and allowed his guys to help him.
Sure you do.
What's that supposed to mean?
How long do you think you've been out?
I don't know, man. 2 or 3 weeks?
Look, I know you think you're a badass, but do you even know where you're at? Without me, you'll be wandering around the prison for hours. Even if you manage to hide from the guards that long, and if you actually figure out how to make it outside these walls, you're just gonna find out that you're sitting on a goddamn island. And I'm pretty sure you can't outswim the Coast Guard.
You got a boat stashed here?
No, but I know where we're gonna steal one.
All right, let's get out of here.
Once they escape, he's met with how gentrified Mission Row became after Otor picked up Alderman's plan after his death. Him seeing his stomping grounds refurbished by Otor, who he remembered to make clothes, will only get worse. Once the two actually get on land, everything in his mind was the same. It didn't click yet. The people in the Saints, including him, thought it was still a thing. But as we know, that's not the case.
That's the road?
It is now.
Jesus, when did this happen?
When Oter got involved.
The clothing company.
After Hughes was killed in that bombing of yours, Oter picked up the pieces. Now they're everywhere. On TV, on billboards, in stores. Hell, if you ever forget who Oter is, just look towards Saints Row and you'll see that fucking eyesore. Here we are.
Where can I find the other Saints?
What other Saints?
What you talking about?
Without anyone to lead them, the Saints fell apart. Once the Brotherhood, Ronan, and Samdi showed up, the few that were left dropped their flags before they got killed.
Well, that's fucking great.
Look, I know you didn't ask for it, but my advice is to just keep your head down. The cops are looking for you and a lot's changed. I say you just go buy a beer and soak up as much information as you can.
Thanks, Carlos.
Anytime.
Player ironically found himself at the same mental state 2 years ago in this moment, but now for different things. Him being naive, wanting him to do something about gangs after he is almost killed just walking the streets. But during this, money and reputation was gained. But with everything he did up until now, he's back in the same spot. But the reason of his weakness now, he's back to the guy walking the streets, nothing to show for his doings, even though he know what he did and what he was capable of. He was back to being regular, to say the least, and at this moment, he refused going back to that. He takes Carlos' advice, leading him to go to a bar, but with this, of course, his weakness showed now that he's back. Also, as we know, Player finds out that Johnny Gat was on trial for that crazy year.
By some to be the trial of the century. A notorious member of a gang once known as the 3rd Street Saints, Johnny Gat was arrested last year in an assassination attempt against then-decorated police officer Troy Bradshaw.
As we heard, he tried to kill Troy sometime in between Player being in a coma. Even though it didn't fully click for him, watching this something is revealed later.
In the resulting trial, Gat was convicted of 1 count of attempted murder and a staggering 387 counts of first-degree murder, promptly sending him to death row.
Hey, Barry, turn this shit off!
This Brotherhood member doing this was one of the same things he fought for in the first Saints Row, which was respect. But this guy not even knowing him, on top of being disrespectful, but with the player still thinking it's that time, is why he reacted how he did, then going to break Johnny out. For this point forward, he's trying to get redemption, being that he the only one that knows his power at this point.
Yeah, I was watching that.
I guess you're not anymore, are you, bitch?
Could you turn the TV back on?
In a few short moments, we'll be allowed back in the courtroom and we'll find out, once and for all, if Mr. Gat will go home a happy man or a dead one. Back to you, Jack.
Oh, shit.
What's that?
Drop it.
Anyone hit and need a lawyer?
Shit. About time your burnt ass woke up.
You okay, Johnny?
Yeah, aside from almost getting sent to the chair, I'm fucking great. Hey, you look different. You do something with your hair?
You ready to get out of here?
The two didn't catch up, but this conversation they have fully catches the player up to speed. Johnny brings up Troy, leading the player to be shocked, showing he wasn't fully paying attention at the bar earlier, but he says something telling to when he does it.
Thanks for busting me out. Ish would have killed me if I got executed.
You still with Aisha?
Yeah, I mean, got a little tricky with me on death row and her being on the DL after faking her own death, but, you know, we found a way to make it work.
How long were you in jail anyway?
2 years and 31 days.
Not like you were counting.
Yeah, right? You know, it's weird. People inside were betting how long I'd last. See, when I was first busted, guards were always trying to put me in the ground. After Troy became chief of police, it all stopped. Troy must be more forgiving than I am.
Troy's the chief of police?
Yo, you better start getting with the times. Julius is missing, Ben King wrote an autobiography, Dex is a... You know, don't even get me started with Dex. But the real kicker is Troy. In a couple of months, he went from undercover cop to chief of police. And word is, he's become obsessed with finding out what happened on your little boat trip with the alderman.
If I get some free time, I might swing by the station and say hello.
Him getting close to fully know the fate of the Saints, and Johnny now being freed, it wouldn't be long until he goes back to the row and see firsthand how things changed. He then goes to the new police station in the row in hopes to talk to Troy, but he stumbles into something else.
How you doing, Julius?
I was doing better before I got arrested.
I wanted to talk to you about that.
I bet you do.
Listen, Julius, you've made some bad choices, but you're a good man. Let me help you out.
What do you want?
I want the Saints to be gone. Okay? Now, there's two ways that can happen.
You can arrest all of us.
Or you guys can quit while you're ahead. All right? This is my investigation. I can miss a few collars.
What are you saying?
Dex is out of the game, and you're in jail. If you can convince Johnny and your number two to drop their flags, the Saints will fall apart, and everyone goes home happy.
You don't think this will work, do you?
You think I like arresting my friends? Convince them to quit, and I won't have to.
There's no way that player's gonna stop.
Make them understand.
Let's say I can. How do I know I'm going free?
I've already talked to the mayor. Hughes is willing to give you guys pardons.
I'll see what I can do.
Julius, knowing the play and Johnny wouldn't just walk away, shows why his weakness is what it is. Now, so with getting a pardon by the guy who tried to kill Playa, he hit two birds with one stone, saving himself, making the Playa into what he became, something telling for how things played out later.
What the fuck was that?
It was the only way.
I said talk, not set off a goddamn bomb.
Relax, Troy. The Saints are finished. Don't try to find me.
He then finds Dex's number, leading him to meet him. Although this was a setup, as we know, they get Julius and Playa in the same spot, but here, of course, a lot is shown, being back where it all started. The Playa being who he is, in his mind, thinking he's meeting Dex, we see a huge change to what he would do and say from the time taking over the Carnales to now, after he proved himself.
The fuck took you so long?
You ain't Dex.
Neither are you.
But Julius shows up. This being the case, Julius was seen to still look at the Playa like the guy that was under him, like once before, even with him doing what he did. But on the Playa's end, this shows how in his mind, Julius wasn't who he thought he was anymore, once he found out he was responsible for the Saints' collapse, especially with him even going above and beyond in the Saints, arguably more than him, along with him selling the Playa out. The Playa even called this out after he did what Julius claimed he couldn't do to him.
You look different, did you?
I didn't do shit to my hair.
You pulling a gun on me?
Well, I didn't have time to plant a bomb in the church, so this I have to do.
You don't know what the hell you talking about.
Why don't you educate me?
I don't gotta explain shit to you.
This is where we gonna have to agree to disagree.
Why don't you just put the gun down? We both know you're not gonna use it.
Not yet.
Stop!
I never thought I'd see you beg, Julius.
I'm not begging. I'm trying to talk some sense into you.
I'm done listening to your bullshit.
Put it together. Dex wanted us in the same place.
Yeah, and why'd he want that?
Can we kill each other later?
After escaping Dex setup, the two was forced to work with each other, but again, Julius still thought he had the Playa that was a follower for him. that would just forgive him saying nothing, even with trying to take him out.
Just like old times, player.
Yeah.
Jesus. I thought we were past this.
Not by a fucking long shot.
The player outgrowing Julius, not even being able to respect his word after being betrayed. What he does next was to revamp the Saints after Julius failed to do so in his mind. Julius molded the player.
You okay, player?
I got ran over by a motherfucking truck. What you think?
Oh, quit being a bitch.
Even being stamped by him personally, giving him that confidence within the Saints, which is why he led, getting him out of jail.
You've impressed the hell out of me, son.
And I told the crew, you gonna be my right hand.
Looks like we wait.
Why? So we can let this jag-off jerk us around? Fuck that!
So even with Julius doing what he did, the player still had these things. The confidence, the taste of power, and now doing the unexpected, which was even talking and having the guts to use what he learned from the same guy that taught him what he knew. Julius would then try to explain why the Saints ended, but the player being naive then, he begged to differ.
Don't you get it? The Saints didn't solve a goddamn thing. Drugs were still being pushed. Innocent people were still getting killed. All we did was turn into vice kings that wore purple.
Jesus Christ, you sound like a pussy.
I sound like someone who's not a sociopath.
You wanna be the killer with a conscience? Fine. Drop your flags and write a book like King, but you never should have came after me.
He went to say how he should have never tried to kill him. For the fact alone, he would have stayed in line for Julius to a certain extent. The Saints was something the player had control in. Stillwater was under the Saints because of him. Him liking the benefits, dropping the flags wasn't an option.
You telling me, if I would have asked you to walk away, you would have said yes?
Fuck no, this is my city.
Jesus, you haven't learned a goddamn thing.
When Julius is speaking now, he comes off as the old guy for the player. Him looking at his mentor that betrayed him was looking at a shell, ready to take his spot and again revamp the Saints.
Wrong. I've learned that being in charge is better than being a bitch who keeps his mouth shut and does what he's told. Your time's over, old man.
What's happened to you?
I woke up.
You owe me, player. If it wasn't for me, you would have died on that street corner.
If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been in a goddamn coma.
But I guess that makes us even.
Not really.
Now with Julius dead, the player now goes to get the Saints back to the rep it was for a short time, meeting up with Johnny, the only person that shared that same thrill with him.
Well, come on in. You want a beer?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Johnny, who's that?
Yo, come to the living room and find out.
Johnny, I don't care if you just broke out of jail. You do not mess with my furniture. Oh my God, it's you.
Surprised, Aisha?
What, that you're here or that you're talking?
Pick one.
We all thought you were dead.
I almost was.
Well, for someone who was blown to hell, you look great. Did you do something with your hair?
Now, I've been getting that a lot.
Yo, can we get back to business?
The two was seen making up for lost times, being that the two was in prison, wanting to remind the gangs in the city who runs it, leading them to find a hideout to start their journey.
What's the rush?
I've been cooped up on death row and that bitch has been laid out in a coma.
We definitely need to remind motherfuckers who we are.
And that can't wait until after dinner?
No.
You two haven't changed at all.
Well, you know, there's a saying about dogs and blowing shit up. So what's the plan?
We get our crew together. Once we got that, we can work on how we taking back our city.
Sounds good.
And where were you planning on having this little meeting? No.
Well, this place is pretty spacious.
No.
The color's very soothing.
No.
Come on, Ish.
This ain't no fucking gang clubhouse.
Change of plans.
We gotta find a new place.
Yeah, you got it. So, what you think?
It's kind of a shithole.
True that. But it's a shithole with potential.
I don't know, man.
Oh, come on. A stripper pole, some flat screens, maybe some nicer furniture.
You had me at stripper pole.
They take over a hideout used by the Sons of Zombie to when they start talking about getting the crew.
You know, this ain't exactly what I had in mind for my day.
Yo, we gotta clean this place out.
Yo, I'm not a fucking janitor.
No shit, you're a goddamn diva.
Come on, this is the kind of shit people who just got canonized should have to do.
Good idea. We'll just ask some of the crew for help. Hey, buddy, you wanna help? No? Looks like we doing this ourselves.
That's my point. We can't really run a gang if we don't have, you know, a fucking gang.
You said it yourself. Most of the old crew are either dead or busted by Troy. We're gonna have to start fresh.
Yeah, well, let's get on that, because I'm done mopping up blood.
The player instantly thought of Carlos after taking a liking to him for the fact alone he was like Carlos when Julius brought him in.
This kid Carlos helped me bust out. He seems alright, but we're gonna need more. What you thinking?
Yo, I met some people in jail who might work. Let me make some calls. Once I find out where these bitches are, you're gonna have to show them that you're the real deal, though. They won't just follow anybody.
It won't be a problem.
Hey, before you go, what sort of crew you looking for?
Johnny asking him this, he gets what was familiar with him. He finds someone that he's going to try to make him. He finds a Lynn and a Dex, and of course Johnny, leading the Saints to come together, along with the player now being non-existent, now that he's the boss. If you think about it, everyone that called him player is either dead or not gangbanging.
This is what it's about, man.
What the hell is going on?
I had to do some canonizing. Hold up. You're next.
Wait, what?
Sorry about that.
Where'd you find these guys?
Like I said, I made some calls.
You guys actually hang out down here?
I don't know. Add a flat screen, some throw pillows, and a hookah, and this place would be all right.
You definitely need a stripper pole in this bitch.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we do now?
We listen.
The boss would then, of course, give the Saints a pep talk before they get things going. Him now being a leader, he took what inspired him to take over Stillwater the first time to the people here in front of him. But with this leadership role, shows his weakness from this point forward.
Alright, everybody listen up. We got some serious shit to discuss. The Saints used to own Stillwater, and it seems like the only motherfuckers that remember that is me and Gat. I think it's time we give those other crews a wake-up call. Now, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of shit's changed since I've been out of the game, so I'm gonna need some help. Pierce, you on the Ronin. I wanna know who's calling the shots and what businesses they running. Done. Shorty, you got the Sons of Samdi.
It's gotta be them.
Fuck you say?
It's cool. I got this.
Carlos.
The Brotherhood. I'm on it.
Alright. Once we're done here, talk to one of these guys. I have something for you to do. It's our time now. Let's get this shit started.
The boss now having a boss role, a lot he got into was because he could, all for wanting Stillwater back in his possession. When the Sons of Samdi was introduced, their plan to cripple them came after Shandi introduced them to their drug Loa Dust, which was their version of PCP. Like we're about to hear, the boss says how doing this was fine by him. For the fact alone, it was theirs and he wanted it.
Hey, I got you a present.
A light bulb. Just what I always wanted.
Come on, you think I'd just give you a light bulb?
A face shredder. Just what I always wanted.
Smoke this.
What is it?
It's the Sons of Samdi's #1 product. They call it Loa Dust.
But you smoke it.
They suck at marketing, what can I say? The point is that this shit is all over campus. I mean, frats are buying it by the pound. If we get enough of the stuff, we might find out how to make it ourselves.
And then we sell it for cheaper and steal their market.
Exactly.
How much stuff we talking?
I don't know, 3 pounds? 2 for science, 1 for the weekend?
I can live with that.
To get samples from the Samdi, he went back to prison to break out Laura, someone he helped in the past. But here confirms the fact he just wanted control in this drug, from the money to the people on it.
Hey, can we, talk about the Loa Dust already?
Right. Sorry. That stuff is very sophisticated. I won't bore you with all the details like acetone and trichloroethane, but there is definitely some very good pot in there.
As long as we can make this shit, it could have embalming fluid in it for all I care.
Making it won't be a problem. I'll give the recipe to Shandi.
Now all we gotta do is stop those fuckers from producing anymore.
That, of course, the Samdi caught wind of, endangering Shandi that fast.
The Saints raised my farm.
That's some shitty luck.
A helicopter-mounted machine gun. has nothing to do with luck.
Well, how... Yo, can you cut that shit out? You're freaking me out. How did they find out about the farm?
Why don't you tell me?
I don't know what...
Stop lying.
Dude, I said I don't...
And he said, stop lying.
I'm telling you the truth, man. I don't know how they found out.
Then you are not very useful, are you?
I don't know how they found out, but I got some ideas.
Enlighten me.
I used to date this bitch Shondi, and there's a chance, a small fucking chance, that I might have gotten stoned and told her about the farm.
Where is this Shondi?
Word is she rolls with the Saints now.
Let him go. Veteran child, you will go kill this Shondi. If you fail to do this, Mr. Sunchild will burn you alive. Does this sound fair? Excellent. Let's be on our way.
The Ronin was the same way. Pierce unknowingly now being the Dex of the Saints, he had a precise plan to rob one of their big casinos. But just like back then, him and Johnny had a different plan.
What's up with the dollhouse?
Dollhouse my ass. This is how we gonna fuck up the Ronin.
This'll be good.
Trust me, it is. The Ronin have a stake in Poseidon's palace, so I figure hitting their biggest money maker is a good way to show them we not fucking around.
Okay, so what's the plan?
You and I enter the casino here. Once inside, we need to distract this security guard. I was thinking you could catch me cheating or some shit like that. Anyway, while the guard's concerned with throwing me out, Gatto sneak in through this security door. Don't worry, I already got today's passcode from the blackjack dealer Shondi's fucking. Now once inside, Gatto had to sneak past the guards to cut the power. And when that happens, we only have about 45 seconds before the backup generator turns on. During the blackout, though...
Hold up, man. I love the dream house you built here and everything. But what if we just start here, walk into the casino, and just shoot all the motherfuckers that are between us and the money?
Well, you know...
It would be a lot faster.
And a lot more fun.
Yeah, but...
Fuck it, let's go. Good call, Johnny.
This was successful, but them being who they are, the news picked this up. Their plan made people know who did it, something him and Johnny was weirdly enough happy about, showing his weakness to look like they're big and bad, endangering now Aisha.
Why is there a big pile of money on the coffee table?
It's a little complicated.
We shot up a Ronin casino and stole the cash.
And you brought that shit here.
Ish, who else we gonna trust with the money?
But the Ronin know you stole it, right?
Well, they wouldn't have if we would've went with my plan.
Yeah, well, if we went with your plan, we'd still be talking about it.
Fuck off, Gat.
Excuse me?
Shut up, we're on.
Casino heist has left the police baffled. Standing next to me is Chief of Police Troy Bradshaw. Chief, how's the investigation going?
This is an investigation, Miss Valderrama. I can't get into details.
Can you say anything about the 3rd Street Saints' involvement?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This leaked security footage shows the leader of the Saints, recent fugitive and Saint Lieutenant Johnny Gat, as well as an unknown accomplice assaulting the casino. Obviously, the 3rd Street Saints are back after a long hiatus.
All right! Woo!
Oh, God.
Unknown accomplice my ass!
The Ronin also were now the second gang here that already wanted the Saints gone. This gang specifically wanted this after Shogu's dad went to arrive after their entrance started to sink.
What's going on? Shogo is explaining our failure to his father.
Mr. Akuchi doesn't sound happy.
That's because his son has brought him much shame. Akuchi-san is coming to America to teach Shogo how to lead.
Is that good or bad?
That depends on who you are.
わかりました、父上. We need the Saints taken care of before my father arrives.
What would you have me do?
What do you think I want you to do? Get some of our boys and kill them!
But problems starting, an attempt was already made to throw the Saints off.
Nice place you got here, Shondi.
What are you doing here?
I've been watching this place. I know you're here alone.
Not for long, I'm not, so you better get the...
Don't make this difficult.
Bitch!
Back off! Back the fuck off!
You think you walking out of here?
Unless you want a bullet in this bitch, you're goddamn right I am.
Kid, you just made us.
You know who I am?
Seeing as I'm gonna kill you in a few seconds, I don't really give a shit.
Keep your distance!
That the best you got?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit is right, motherfucker.
Fuck me.
Did you really think you could hide from me?
Can't be fucking happening.
See you soon. Shondi, you okay?
My ex-boyfriend's a dick.
Pretty much, yeah. I can't believe you got your ass kicked by that chump.
This going their way, the boss will take it another step to finish crumbling the Somdi, leading the General and Mr. Sunshine to be looking for the boss personally at this point.
What are you thinking, my friend?
It's beautiful.
And expensive.
More money will come.
You had best be right. Between the farm and this fire, we cannot afford to have anything go wrong with our next shipment.
Don't worry, General. The shipment will be safe.
These saints are proving themselves to be quite the nuisance.
Then perhaps it's time we speak to their leader.
At this point, Johnny, Pierce, and Shondi all regardless earned their keep. But the one the boss had hopes for, Carlos, wasn't as sufficient. This was shown after he calls the boss regarding his role.
Hey, be cool. It's not so bad. Mero asked to sit down and have a chat with you. He wants to work something out before things get out of control.
The two meeting with Mero, the boss' weakness of course shows. Carlos being here with them is a reminder he's a leader, showing how he tries to use his power talking to Mero, but it fails.
You Marrow?
That's right.
Where's your crew then?
I don't need one.
You sure about that? I could kill you right now.
No, you couldn't.
What do you want?
Already starting off on the wrong foot, it only gets worse. The boss is with someone he broke out of prison with, but again, with him being power drunk, he didn't even realize, let alone care, the police were on their trail. After he was aware of Troy covering up for him, after he robs the Ronin and Otor's casino, leading the meeting to be crashed.
Listen, I'm not stupid. I know who you are. There's no reason for us to tear each other apart.
I'm listening.
Here's what I'm thinking. We divide still.
I hear voices this way.
After escaping, we see firsthand how the Brotherhood maneuver. Before getting down to things though, the boss recognized Donnie from the West Side Rollers.
So here we are.
Jesus, it's like a coked up sideshow.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Aren't you worried about being in the open?
People know to stay away. How's my truck coming?
It'll be ready for the competition.
Thanks, Donnie.
You know that guy?
Later.
But after this, things start to be more telling after we see Carlos showing signs of being a weak link.
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Carlos.
I'm still Jessica. You know, you remind me of my old house cleaner. I'm kidding. I was kidding.
Babe, you want to count the cash?
Sure.
Yo, Matt, you ready to work?
Hey, aren't you the guitarist for the Feed Dogs?
Don't encourage him.
Don't you think you have enough tattoos?
Brother, I got a lot of canvas left. So let's get back to business. The Brotherhood is about to come into something big, and I think the Saints are going to want to get in on the ground floor.
So what's the offer?
2080.
I'm assuming I get the 80?
Yeah, sure you do.
You really expect me to take 20 and say thanks?
On your hands and fucking knees.
What the boss did in the past, again, was the reason he wanted 80%. But just like how we looked at Julius earlier, is what Mero looked at him to be. The boss fell short in this encounter, but with Carlos being here, he used the thing he did have, which was power over Carlos, the weakest one in the room.
Is this a joke? I used to own...
Used to is right. Time's passed you by. Now you're a has-been with some burn scars.
I suggest you shut the fuck up before...
You're kidding me, right?
Hey man, be cool.
You really think that a couple of washed-up bangers like you and Gat have a chance against the Brotherhood?
We'll see.
Let's go, Carlos.
Honey, you want me to have someone take care of them?
Nah. They'll be dead soon enough.
Now with the boss and the Brotherhood confirming their disdain, the boss goes to Donnie, not for revenge for Lynn. After Julius put it in his mind, the Saints knew the risk.
3rd Street owns this town. Now that's not to say shit didn't cost. And I ain't talking about what happened to Johnny's leg or losing Lynn. Those two were soldiers, they knew the risk.
But for the fact alone of knowing he's harmless and he's easy to break.
Lynn, I miss you.
That's sweet, Donnie. I missed you too.
Oh, shit.
You haven't seen me since your boss shot and stuffed me in the trunk of a car, and the best you can give me is old shit?
You're supposed to be dead.
That'll work. Now walk to the car.
How'd you know I'd be here?
You're predictable.
What do you want with me?
You're gonna do some pro bono mechanic work.
What do you mean, pro bono work?
I'm through answering questions. Now get in the car.
The boss even drops him off after he does what he was forced to do, so Mero can be aware he had someone in his gang go against him. Back to his weakness, though.
Babe, just let it go.
Who the fuck do the Saints think they are turning me down?
Sweetie, it's not a big deal. Just kill him. Hey, Donnie, where have you...
Mero, I'm so sorry!
What did you do, Donnie?
It's the Saints! They...
What did you do, Donnie?
They made me rig up some of our boys' trucks and...
And you did it?
I didn't have a choice.
You had a choice, Donnie. You chose your life over the rest of us.
I had a gun to my head, man. What was I supposed to do?
Have a spine.
I didn't say anything about the shipment.
Well, that makes it all better.
Bro, you should be pissed at that asshole running the Saints, not Donnie.
This is how he wanted things to go, but it was Carlos' job to think of ways to hurt the Brotherhood. He failed to deliver, leading the boss to be disappointed in their next encounter.
Why are we meeting on the L?
I wanted to get out of the goddamn sewer.
Why are you looking away?
In case you're, being followed.
This isn't a goddamn spy movie, Carlos. Can you turn around? What do you got for me?
Nothing.
Are you shitting me?
Listen, I tried everything I could. What was I supposed to do?
Try harder.
After that shit you pulled with Donnie, the Brotherhood are keeping a tight lid on what they got cooking. I've heard one guy mention a shipment, but beyond that, it looks like we're back to square one.
Which is?
We know they like trucks and tattoos.
You were on my short list, and you giving me tattoos and trucks?
And the shipment.
Which you know nothing about. Carlos, I like you. I do. But you got a lot to learn about being a lieutenant.
I wish I had more to give you.
Believe me, so do I.
With Carlos lacking knowledge, the boss again was forced to come up with a plan, something that changed things from this point forward.
But fuck it, we'll figure out something.
What is it?
I think I got an idea.
Bro, you are gonna look like a bad motherfucker.
That's good, because I was beginning to think I looked like an investment banker.
I'm glad you two are having fun, because God forbid we do something about the Saints.
I'm gonna take care of them, babe.
Sure you are.
You think I'm afraid?
No, she doesn't, Mero. Now can you stay cool? I'm almost done.
I think you should stick to tattooing and drop the guitar.
Whatever. The feed dogs fucking rock.
Baby?
At this point, all three gangs were seeking to get rid of the Saints. To some to Sandy, get their chance to take out the boss. But with his power, he didn't even see them as a threat, even with being kidnapped by the two.
Where am I?
You are sitting with your betters, my friend. I wanted to see the face of the individual who had caused me so much trouble. So far, I find the experience to be underwhelming.
Who the fuck are you?
I am the man whose property you stole and destroyed.
Oops.
You needn't dwell on your mistakes. You will not live to learn from them.
That's so?
I'm afraid it is.
Who the fuck are you?
They call me Mr. Sunshine.
Well, listen, Sunshine. I don't care how fucked up your face is. I ain't scared of you or that other asshole.
Pity.
Gentlemen, I'm through meeting with my adversary. If you please, dispose of this trash.
Of course, General.
You're a general? Did you hear that? That asshole thinks he's a... Shit!
The Ronin then follows up right after. Keep in mind, all of this started from robbing a casino, being seen, just to have the news say the Saints are back.
I don't take much pleasure in this.
Then let me go.
That depends on you.
Aisha doesn't care that I'm stopping by, does she?
Fuck no. Aisha doesn't go out much. She loves company. Ish, you home?
Ish!
Aisha's death, as we know, was behind the two moving reckless and not taking time. Who they're actually going against. They looked at Shogu as an easy case, not even realizing or understanding that wasn't even a person to worry about. But for the boss, if Aisha dying wasn't telling for him to take a good look around, Johnny being stabbed wouldn't make things click for him either.
Cat, get out of the way! Johnny, you're gonna be fine.
Gotta save Ish.
Look out, coming through! Pierce, listen up. Johnny got laid out by one of the Ronin.
That mean I get a promotion?
Don't get too excited, asshole. Gat'll be back up in no time.
Yo, that came out wrong.
Just shut up and listen. Gat was looking into a Japanese crime boss called the Kuji. This guy's coming into town soon and I want to know when.
Let's look over the fact he didn't bring up Aisha's death to Pierce in his phone call, but one thing he did make clear goes back to his weakness.
Got it.
Don't fuck this up, Pierce. I'm not in a good mood.
Then lastly, the Brotherhood finally come together and capture Carlos, giving him another thing he has to deal with after he started it by trying to show Mero his power.
Carlos, where the fuck are you?
I think your people skills need some work, sweetie.
Jessica, how'd you like Mero's new tattoo?
Actually, I think it's pretty sexy. Rugged, tough.
Radioactive?
That's cute.
I try. Now what the fuck do you want?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that since you were nice enough to give my man a makeover, I should return the favor. Don't worry, by the time we're through with him, Carlos will look just as handsome as Mero.
Listen up, you fucking bitch.
I don't have access to the same materials you did, but you know, I figure we can make do.
When I find you...
I'm sure you'll do something scary. Do me a favor, when you're scraping up your buddy's face, just remember, Mero gave you a chance to be his partner.
Carlos was liked by the boss. He felt he could make anyone into what he needed them to be. But just like Julius felt he had to take the player out to save him from himself, the boss, now being the boss, was forced to do the same thing. Ironically, he says this to Carlos.
Carlos, don't worry. I'm gonna make a banger out of you if it kills me.
And as we saw, it did kill him. Him looking at Carlos at this moment, you could tell the boss knows he failed him, put him in his life. He got stabbed just to break him out of prison. His brother was a saint, but him actually running the Saints after Julius, him being pirate drunk, made him think he knew what he was doing. He takes him out of his misery, definitely. But the other side to this was the boss knowing he's the reason of his state, which is also why he never brings him up from this point forward. Even with these things going on, the boss being power drunk doesn't go away. Although things isn't the best, Pierce being in charge of the Ronin, something is shown after Pierce calls him out about his ways. He sees himself above people, as we're about to see.
I got the passenger manifest.
Thanks.
I'm not Shondi, so I had to, do actual work to get that.
What, you bribed someone?
Why you gotta be an asshole?
They bumped heads a second time, but this time with the sons of Sandy. The boss here shows us why he became what he became.
I can't take all this sitting around. When you gonna let me come out and do some dirt with you?
Don't take it the wrong way, Pierce. I'm just used to dealing with shit myself.
This alone is why his weakness is what it is. Being naive and doing a lot himself gave him arrogance. It's arrogance for the fact alone things were bigger than him, although he thought he was the threat. He felt he earned to talk with the little power he had toward the end years ago. So actually calling shots is why this conversation turns to this.
Why you got the cheerleader calling the shots and not me?
Right here.
Pierce, I put you in charge of the Ronin. What more do you want?
I can do more to help.
Do you know how the Sons of Samdi are still moving product after we torched their farm and drug labs?
No.
Then shut the fuck up.
Why you gotta be like that?
Things finally go their way after a while, leading the Samdi to feel the effects at this point. They're desperate to keep things afloat, making them go to desperate measures. Mr. Sunshine made it easy for him after he relied on lower dust users to steal lower dust from the Saints after they stopped their whole operation. They did it, but this led the boss to get his whereabouts, leaving just a general at this point.
Hey!
I need that!
Where's Sunshine?
Give me the dust.
Fine. Where's Sunshine?
What does it matter? You're gonna kill me anyway.
I'm in no rush.
He hangs out at the old meat packing plant.
See, was that so hard?
Shondi wanted to go with the boss, but he declined for the fact of his weakness.
I'm coming too.
No.
This is total bullshit. You can't just cut me out of the loop.
I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's one of the perks of running a gang.
Is Pierce talking shit again? Because I don't care what.
This doesn't have anything to do with Pierce. If a strung-out DJ almost took you out, a crazy motherfucker like Sunshine will tear you apart. I don't have time to babysit you.
You won't have to babysit.
Stick to tactics, Shondi. This conversation is over.
With Shogu's dad being in Stillwater at this point too, his days as the leader was over, leading him to give up Junichi to clean up his face with his father to the boss.
Trust me, Gad'll be up and running in no time.
And if he's not?
Then we have bigger problems. Sup?
How badly do you want the man who hurt Johnny Gat?
Who is this?
Junichi will be at Kanto tonight. This is our chance for revenge.
Our chance? Who the fuck are you?
Where you going?
I'm taking out the son of a bitch that killed Aisha.
But this fails for Shogo, of course, making the Saints stronger at this point, after only being the only ones to benefit from this.
Is everything okay, Father?
He's dead, Shogo. Junichi is dead. And all I'm left with is you.
Is that so bad?
It's worse than you could ever imagine.
Father,
Leave me in peace, Shogo.
I'll make you proud, Father. I'll finish what Junichi started. I'll kill Gat. I'll...
Do whatever you want, Shogo. Just do it away from me.
Then later, as we know, Meryl's girlfriend was spotted by Shandi, leading the boss to use her to show his frustration of being offered 20%. This wasn't even for Carlos.
Jesus Christ, are you trying to get killed?
Look, I'm sorry.
I don't have time for this. Sorry about that, baby. I almost ended my car on a hippie chick.
Hey, I'm not a hippie.
Meryl, I'm fine. Look, I gotta go. I'm about to make the deposit. Sweetie, let me worry about the money. We'll have enough to cover the shipment, and once that comes in, the Saints won't have a chance in hell.
Hey, boss.
Shaundi, I'm watching Bobby and Amber. Can I wait?
Not really.
What's up?
Meryl's girlfriend just walked into the bank with a suitcase full of money.
I'll be right over.
Please let me out of here!
I'm gonna kill you right here, right now.
No, you're not.
What's this?
Do me a favor. When you check the trunk, just remember you should have offered me something better than 20%.
So the bastard's dead?
I cut him up myself. How you doing?
She's dead. You really gotta ask. Funeral?
We're waiting for you. Cut it. How long till you're back?
Doc said I should be up and murdering in a couple of days. Well, you know, he didn't say murdering, but you get the idea.
Time to leave?
Fuck yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Akuji. Shall we get down to business? You should care because I represent a multi-billion-dollar corporation that employs your son. Now can we sit down? With the recent change in management, I figured it would be a good idea to touch base. We at Old Tor understand that when working with the Ronin, there's bound to be some collateral damage. However, turning a hospital into a charnel house is something that even I can't spin. You need to keep your men under control.
My English must not be as good as I thought it was. It sounded like you were giving me an order.
You're quite astute, Mr. Akuji.
I'm not a 20-something who is impressed by a power tie, Mr. Vogel. I suggest you stop trying to bully me.
Mr. Akuji, your son and I negotiated a very reasonable contract.
My son's an idiot, Mr. Vogel. If you wish for the Ronin's protection, you had best be prepared to offer us something much more substantial.
That's not going to happen.
Then our business is concluded.
Mr. Akuji, I can't possibly stress how unwise this could...
Be silent. You can show yourself out now.
Well, I guess that's that. Best of luck, gentlemen. This is a hell of a place you got here. I mean, it's a good thing I had my tetanus shot, but beyond that, it's, cozy.
Do I know you?
Name's Dane Vogel, who works for Altor.
What do you want?
I want to help you.
If I need any Altor Unlimited sunglasses, I'll steal them.
So you're familiar with our products?
Fuck off, Vogel.
Do you want our help or not?
Maybe.
Yes. No.
Well, this is a well-oiled machine.
What do you got?
We've recently severed our ties with the Ronin.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
I know where the Akujis lay their heads. I doubt any of your lieutenants have that information.
I don't know. Shonda's fucked a lot of guys.
Gad's talking sense. How do we know it's not a trap?
That part's easy. I'll wait for you here. If you don't make it back, one of your boys can take me out.
Yo, why don't we just cut the waiting part?
I think the waiting part is very important.
Gad, you with me. Pierce, you're babysitting Vogel.
You sure you don't want me to take out this asshole now?
Save the bullet for Akuji.
Yo, it been gone a long time. Maybe I should...
You really shouldn't.
It's all right, Pierce.
He led us right to him.
Get out of here, Vogel.
You've been a gracious host.
How come you went to the Ronin and not us?
You were in a coma and we couldn't find Julius. Timing is everything.
I had no idea how far my shame could extend.
Don't worry, Father. I'll fix this.
No, you won't, Shogo. You'll continue to disappoint me.
Shortly after Johnny's recovered from the incident, the two have a funeral for Aisha. But here's when Shogu goes after the two, after him setting up Junichi didn't work out like how he wanted to.
You two have humiliated my family for the last time!
Leave, little boy.
Look at me when I'm talking to you!
Fuck off, Akuji. I'm not killing anyone at Isha's funeral. Tonight, tomorrow, you name a time and I will gladly fuck you up. But not now.
How noble. Where are you taking me? Let me go!
Get up. Get up. Get up.
Please, stop.
Not so fun when you're fighting someone who isn't tied to a chair, is it?
I didn't kill her!
You ordered it.
I'm sorry.
Well, that brings her back, doesn't it? You couldn't even let her have a burial, you fucking piece of shit.
No, please, no.
Kill me, but don't do this! Just kill me, damn it! Don't do this! God.
The Saints' move from these gangs is making them come out on top, but for the boss it wasn't enough, especially after still not being aware of a shipment of guns the Brotherhood had coming to Stillwater. He even explained why he wanted it, again showing his weakness.
I think you're being too hard on yourself.
Yeah, that car crushing thing was pretty tight.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of my work. It's just, I got so wrapped up in sending Mero a message, I never asked Jessica about the shipment.
Bitch is dead. Who cares about the shipment?
I do. It's something that Mero wants, and that means I'm gonna take it.
All right, there's got to be someone you can pump for information. What about Donnie?
He got manhandled twice. I'm pretty sure he's out of the loop, if not dead.
Matt would then be brought up, leading him to go to one of his shows with questions regarding it, getting him a step closer.
Hey, what about their
What about their tattoo artist?
Good idea.
What just happened?
Shondi had a good idea.
And what the fuck ever? She stole my...
Don't be jealous, Pierce. We're all on the same team. You said before that this guy's in a band called the Feed Dogs, right?
Yeah.
They're playing tonight. Shouldn't be too hard to crash the show.
Nice call, Shondi. shipment.
The fuck are you talking about?
Don't fuck with me, Matt. You got a lot of gear on this stage I haven't played with yet.
You gotta believe me. I just tattooed the gang. They don't fill me in on what they're doing.
All that time you inked up Marrow and you never heard him talk about a shipment with Jessica?
All I heard is that it's coming in by boat. They leave me out of the loop on purpose. They were trying to keep me from getting mixed up in their shit.
Your friends should have tried harder.
Come on, I told you everything I know.
Enjoy your retirement, man. Hey, Shawnee. You know anyone that works at the docks?
Not really.
Looks like you get to make some new friends. Marrow's got a shipment coming in by boat, and I want to get it before he does.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
Just like the other gangs, Marrow got desperate for the Saints' downfall, leading him to force Dane Vogel to help. So when he calls Troy to pull some strings.
Mr. Vogel, there's a Mr. Marrow here to see you.
Jamie, I'm trying to downsize here.
Mr. Vogel, I'm not sure I'm adequately conveying Mr. Marrow's size.
Get him out of here. Or send him in. Wow. Thanks, Jamie. You must be Mr. Marrow.
I've heard about the connections Altor has. You're gonna get my boys out of jail and help me destroy the Saints.
Your bargaining posture needs some work.
The Saints killed my girlfriend and crippled my best friend.
And that's unfortunate, but Altor is a business and there's no profit in revenge. Don't worry about the door, though. That one's on me.
Fine. You want money? In a few days, a shipment's coming in.
Mr. Marrow, nebulous shipment or not, I think I made myself quite...
Let's try this again. You're gonna help me destroy the Saints.
And Altor would love to be of service.
Good.
Stillwater Police Department.
I need to talk to Troy Bradshaw.
Who should I say?
Do it!
Chief, there's a Mr. Vogel on the line.
Put him through.
Hello, Troy.
Yeah, what do you want, Vogel?
It's not what I want, it's what I need.
Which is?
You are going to release all the Brotherhood you have locked up.
And why the fuck would I do that?
I'm looking after my clients.
Your, clients are a bunch of criminals.
Guilty before a trial. Nice. Is that the kind of mentality you like to instill in your subordinates?
Huh. Spare me. All right, they're not getting released, and that's that.
This is where we're going to have to agree to disagree. These men are going free. The only question is if you let this be settled quietly, or if you want a media circus that will make you look like a joke.
I thought Altor wanted order. Okay, letting these assholes out's gonna only make things worse.
Troy, in order to maintain the ecosystem, sometimes the rangers need to start forest fires. You should know that better than anybody. I suspect I'll hear from you soon.
But even with all of that, the Saints stopped this. Dane, though, refused to keep getting extorted by Marrow, along with telling them his shipment is now Altor's, making things worse on Marrow's end.
Mr. Vogel, Mr. Vogel. See you.
Thanks for the heads up, Jamie. Is there something I can help you with?
They hit my boys when they were on the prison bus.
Between your girlfriend and your gang, I'd say you're a magnet for tragedy, Marrow.
You think this is fucking funny?
No, but I do think it's your problem.
My problems are your problems. Or do you need some fresh air to remind you?
No. See, my problem is that a sideshow freak is messing up my paperwork. Your problem is that there's a group of security guards with assault rifles pointed at your back.
Your security guards look more like a private army.
Call them whatever you want. The point is, they have big guns. I'm sorry you couldn't protect your friends. I really am, but Altor's done doing you favors. Come back here again, and I'll have you shot on sight.
Go fuck yourself, Vogel.
I've enjoyed our time together, too, but I think it's time to move on. Gentlemen, could you please show our guest out? And Marrow, don't worry about your little shipment. Altor has already appropriated it.
What did you say?
Altor Security is taking control of the boat carrying your goods. It only seemed fair that we get compensated for letting your boys out of jail. You can go now.
That boat is never gonna make it to shore.
Goodbye, Marrow.
The boss then gets the shipment after meeting with Shondi. Shondi brought him to a certain area to also try to make the boss lighten up from his role.
This gang shit's got you a little stressed out. You need to relax.
By playing skee ball.
Oh, yeah.
You know, most people just smoke pot.
Right. And then they go play skee ball.
Fuck it. So did you hit the docks like I asked?
Wait, what?
After the Feed Dogs concert, I called you to look into the docks, and you said
Look,
that...
I gotta be honest, I was really stoned.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I totally am. One of the dock workers just called and said this big guy with tattoos and a scarred face was shaking people down trying to find out when some shipment was rescheduled to arrive.
Why would Marrow need to ask about the time of his own shipment?
I don't know, maybe it got delayed.
And you're sure this big guy with tattoos is Marrow and not just some biker guy?
I'd bet my life on it.
Deal.
By the time he gets on the boat, he sees all the firepower, leading him to say something telling once he learned that the Brotherhood were coming.
What's up?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. What's up?
I was listening in on the police scanner, and the Coast Guard is reporting a lot of Brotherhood are coming towards you.
You sure?
Boss, are you there?
I'm fine, Shondi. Suddenly, I'm not so worried about the Brotherhood.
At this point, all three gangs are gone. Even though the Saints had their down points, the Ronin specifically took it a step further to go to the Saints' hideout during the boss meeting an old friend.
I'm pretty sure Shogo's dead by now.
You guy can dream, right?
Oh, guys! Jesus!
What is it, Pierce?
I bumped into an old buddy of yours who was looking for you.
Who is it?
You can see for yourself in a few minutes.
You brought him here?
How do you know this asshole isn't trying to kill me?
Please. I would never kill my favorite assassin.
Mr. Wong. This guy used to have me running around killing guys in hot dog suits.
I'm quite pleased to hear about your survival. I'm here to give you my thanks for killing Kazuo Akuji's son.
You know Akuji?
Akuji and I have a long history. I have also had several unpleasant dealings with his son.
What did Shogo do?
When he was younger, he killed Mr. Wong's dog.
You fucking kidding me?
I do not joke about Sadie.
If you guys got some time, we could...
Is that?
Were you followed?
Shit, I don't know.
You was fucking followed.
You aren't gonna believe this.
A bunch of Ronin goons are coming this way?
Well, yeah.
Unhand me!
You okay?
I'm fine, but Akuji won't stop here.
I know. We gotta lock our shit down.
The general and the sons of Sandi gets closer to their end after the Saints tapped into traffic cameras. The boss here controlled the Saints on having them learn what to do.
Alright, people, here's the deal. We got a truck full of electronic shit that I don't know how to use. I want you guys to help unload the truck and set up shop here. Once we're up and running, I want someone watching these monitors 24/7. The moment someone sees that fucking limo, I want to know about it. Let's get to work. This is gonna work, right?
Probably.
You had me break into a police station for something that would probably work?
Well, you know, I thought it would be good times.
Thanks, Shondi.
Anytime.
With this going on, he also decided to go to Miro after having everything he wanted. This being the most important for the boss, he didn't even speak on the hardships. He did this attack simply because he could and had people behind him.
I'm glad y'all seem to like the new hardware the Brotherhood decided to hook us up with. You know, up until this point, we've been toying with Mara. Kill his bitch here, steal his money there. But I'm through playing. We know where he lives, we have his guns, and I say it's time we take that motherfucker out. What you think?
The shooting stopped. You think it's over?
Your little buddy screamed like a bitch when we trussed him up. How about you, bitch? You gonna scream?
Miro, get out of here!
This whole back and forth all started after the boss took offense to the offer, along with Merrill himself again looking at the boss as a has-been, giving the boss fuel to show his power, even if he had to take out his own to continue to get rid of the Brotherhood, to when he does.
Get in, man!
I didn't think you'd show.
I'm surprised you have the balls to come alone.
I never said I'd be alone.
Any last words?
Go to hell.
Sorry, didn't catch that.
With the Samdi, they simply wanted to corner their market, just to take it to when they're successful. And now with them having camera access over the city, it wouldn't be long until the general time comes.
Holy shit! I found the limo!
Yo, Shaundi, where the hell are you?
What's up?
Get up, we gotta get moving.
What, you're actually taking me along?
I can't get a hold of Pierce.
Thanks, I guess.
You're welcome. Now get up, we gotta catch that limo.
Here he comes, get ready. Is he dead?
You got a light?
That's it, huh?
Seeing as we stole their drugs, cornered the lower dust market, took their territory and killed their leader, I'm pretty sure the Sons of Samdi are fucked.
and lastly the Ronin, but of course he couldn't just kill him without letting it be known.
Did you really think you could match my skill?
No. I'm gonna cheat.
Finish it.
Put Wong on the phone. Hey, Wong, I want you to hear something. Come on, be a good sport. You hear that, Wong? You're welcome. Thanks.
When I escape, the world will not be big enough for you to hide in.
Luckily for me, you're gonna burn to death in a few minutes. Your son never should have fucked with my friends.
And like that, Stillwater was again under the Saints, leading Otor to do the same thing they did to the Row.
As many of you know, the restoration of Saints Row was a tremendous success, but that was just the beginning of what Otor has in mind for Stillwater. This is Shivington. Once a pristine set of tenement homes, this neighborhood has devolved into a dangerous ghetto filled with undesirables such as these. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, ugly buildings, unwashed masses, what the hell is Otor thinking? My friends, we are thinking about the future. Picture this, glass towers, clean streets, and no one below the poverty line trying to wash your car. Impossible? For a lesser company? Maybe. Now, I'm not here to make idle promises or vague predictions. No offense to all of you politicians out there. No, I'm here to show you how we're going to do it. Now, obviously, before we can remodel Shivington, we need to own the land. So how do we do that? By directing the gangs towards Sunnyvale. Not only are we lowering the number of our detractors, we are lowering the property value as well, which means when we buy the land, the savings get passed on to you, the stockholders. The gangs cripple each other. We direct funds to the Stillwater Police Department, they increase police presence, and pretty soon, all those nasty little gangbangers are gone. Crime stops, property value goes up, and now your population looks like this.
Dane also had an idea to finish the Saints, but as we know, that didn't work well.
This could be going better.
The Saints found out who did the attack, leading them to put a stop to Otor's plot against them.
Is this the pyramid?
Yeah. Ultor's built a huge R&D facility underneath Mount Claflin.
Let me guess. They aren't developing a better breadbox.
Honestly, they probably are. They're just, developing guns and body armor, too.
Why is Ultor gunning for us?
It doesn't matter. Here's the plan. Pierce and Shondi, I want the two of you to hit the streets and take out as much Ultor property as you can. If Ultor wants to come after us, fine, but we're gonna make it fucking cost them. Gat, you and I are gonna hit the pyramid.
What, we don't get to blow shit up in public?
Fine. We could do some damage street side, but we gotta be quick. I don't want to give Ultor any more of a heads up than we have to.
But after Dane was threatened to get fired in a meeting about the Saints, he sends the boss a letter doing his dirty work so he could become chairman.
Dane, while your project has been yielding positive results, the board is a little concerned.
I don't understand.
The Saints are out of control.
That was the point.
When you budgeted funds for force majeure, we didn't realize compromising the pyramid was what you had in mind.
We're dealing with violent criminals. Are you really surprised they might do something, I don't know, violent? The pyramid was not going to last forever. It's better to spin this now when we are the victims than when Channel 6 does an undercover expose.
Dane, fix the problem.
Okay, maybe I'm being too obtuse. Let me try this again. There is no problem.
We've had enough of your ego.
My ego is what got you this far.
Finish off the Saints, or being fired is the least of your worries.
Is that all?
Take care of this, Dane.
Of course I will.
What's this?
Don't know. I found it here and it was addressed to you. Looking to crash your party?
Thinking about it.
Well, your history with boats is pretty solid, so, this seems like a good idea. I think I'm gonna go find Shawnee.
Good idea.
Don't you care who sent it?
Nope.
But it's probably a trap.
Yep.
Mr. Vogel, will you be needing a car to take you to the party? Sir?
Oh, that's all right, Jamie. I think I'm gonna skip it this year. Oh, and Jamie?
Yes, sir?
Please move my things to my new office and set up a press conference.
You were promoted, Mr. Vogel?
I'm about to be.
Right after this, a meeting was then held, leading the Saints to make a move on Vogel.
You in position, Johnny?
Oh, yeah.
Just make sure I get to Vogel.
As most of you know, the Old Tour board of directors were assassinated the other night, and while we at Old Tour would like to take the time to mourn their passing, sadly that's a luxury we don't have. The corporate office has named me chairman, and I wanted to personally let you all know, not only will business continue as usual, but we will be taking even greater strides forward. Monica Hughes has graciously greenlit a project that's very dear to us at Old Tour, the revitalization of Shivington. In the coming days...
Mr. Vogel, come with us.
All right, let's not be too hasty here. You're upset, you're frustrated, and you've got a gun, which you know I'd really like it if you would put that away.
You should have thought of that before you sent a team to wipe out my gang.
I tried telling the board that going after the Saints was a big mistake.
They should have listened to you.
And at this point, the boss has the power, and it's a counter. Him pleading wouldn't help for the fact alone, taking him out is no one else to deal with.
Believe me, right now I am agreeing with you 100%, but you have to look at the positives. You're alive, they're dead, and you have the Saints' #1 fan running all...
We missed it?
Told ya. Now pay up.
Where the fuck were you guys?
Traffic.
What?
He's not joking. The roads have been blocked off.
You see Gad out there?
Oh, he's fine. He's still out there killing cops.
Figures.
What is it?
It's done. Time to pull out of there.
You sure? Get the fuck off of me! I mean, I'm not running out of ammo anytime soon.
I'm sure. See you back home.
Later.
Who you calling now?
All right.
Welcome aboard.
Pierce would then ask what's next for the Saints, to when his weakness shows, and the rest is history.
So what do we do now?
This is our city. We do whatever the fuck we want.
Power came to the Playa once he took over the first time, all while being naive. Waking up in a coma wouldn't help his case, for the fact alone he thought things were the same, as far as the good he thought he did. When he first breaks out, everything he did was redemption-like, along with killing Julius. It gave him more reason to do things his way. By the time the Saints start up, he overused the leadership role, which caused a lot of problems, one in that same field Stillwater gave him earlier, which is why his biggest weakness was shown once he got to run things, which was being power drunk.